can utilize this Poshmark automation tool to your advantage to basically like, comment, follow, and share automatically without you investing any more time, right? The tool is going to do all of that for you. And obviously, if you've sold on Poshmark before, you understand that it's an e-commerce platform that mainly focuses on clothes. And, I like to flip clothes and kind of do arbitrage and drop shipping on Poshmark a little bit to kind of make some excess side money. It really doesn't take a lot of time investment on my part. I let the tool do its work overnight and, throughout the day. And then in the morning when I come and I go work out, where all the clothes that I store, at my parents' house in the basement, I literally package them up and I ship them out, and then I come back to my apartment to work, right? Super, super easy. Doesn't take any more time investment on my part, and I make some extra money every single month. So regardless of whether you're taking Poshmark as like a serious business and investing all your effort into it, or if you're just doing it on the side, this tool can help you, and I'm going to show you how. So two of the best ways that I've taught in the past to, get more likes, get more shares, get more engagement, and get more sales on your Poshmark closet and your Poshmark clothes would obviously be to follow basically on the app and share. But it's really, really easy to say that. You have to understand when to follow and when to share and who to follow and who to share with and at what times and to what parties. So basically speaking, one of the best ways that you can basically get more eyes on your content is, for me, for example, right? If you go to my closet, a lot of the stuff that I'm listing is stuff that I either bought very, very cheap arbitrage-wise or stuff that I'm listing drop shipping-wise. Now, I've sold a number of different things. I've sold like women's purses. I've sold like women's bathing suits. I've sold men's clothes that I have that are, that I don't use anymore that I'm just trying to get rid of. I've also sold men's clothes that I know firsthand because I obviously have men's knowledge because I'm a man and I've, bought men's clothes in the past. I've also bought very, very cheap men's clothes that I know is a really, really good deal and then flip them on Poshmark for a higher profit margin, right? So depending on what I'm selling at the current time, and you'll see at the top of my closet right here, we've got some men's clothes that I'm basically pushing that I have currently. Some of them are drop shipped, some of them I already have. At the top of my closet right now, there's men's clothes, right? So typically speaking, what I would teach to do is you go to a past party, a men's party, right? Because in a men's party, clearly there's a lot of men sharing their clothes, right? So what you'd want to do to get eyes on your potential content is you want to share these people's clothing, right? Because they're men, and what that's going to do, just like Instagram, is it's going to give you a little red, news thing up here that says so-and-so shared your item, right? And then that person's going to come to your closet and potentially share back. The whole idea behind this is to get men to look at your men's clothes, and then they potentially might be interested. They might like them to, basically save them for later in case you drop your price. Or they might go ahead and be interested in some of your clothes because obviously they're men and they're interested in men's clothes, right? Makes a lot of sense. The only issue with this is you'd have to go through and you'd share manually unless you were willing to pay, $100 for a software that I used to recommend. Now that software is great, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people don't have $100 to spend every month, and the software I'm going to show you today is only $9.99 a month, and you can get a free 7-day trial. And the best part about it is you can just keep cycling through the free 7-day trial. So stick with me. I'm going to break the software down for you in a second. It's a very, very cool and very, very valuable, and honestly, it's been a revelation this week for me. So, like I said, the only problem is you'd have to share all these manually to get some eyes on your content. And as you see the notifications start popping up, as people see that, they're starting to share back, right? So that's one of the best ways to do it. Now, if you specifically had women's bathing suits or women's purses or, kids' clothes or something like that, right? Then you'd want to go to a party, and there's obviously a lot of parties. Like I said, if you're selling like women's clothes, right? Well, then you're going to go to a women's party, which the best part about it is the majority of these other ones that aren't men's parties are all women's parties, because about 80% of the traffic and people that are on Poshmark are women. So you could go to Insta Chic party, you could go to Best in Jeans party, you could go to this one, whatever. If you're selling kids' clothes and that's at the top of your closet, right? Or maybe you're selling a bunch of different things, but you've organized the top of your closet to be kids' clothes, guess what? You're going to go to the kids' party, right? Then you're going to share the kids' stuff so that you can potentially get people that have kids, or are, because if they are selling kids' clothes, generally speaking, they have kids and they might be more inclined and more interested in buying your kids' clothes, right? So that's what you do in the past. That's what I would teach, and it works very, very well. The only issue is you have to invest your time when you have some downtime to, basically share clothes, but not anymore. So let's go to the Google Chrome store, and it's a Google Chrome app, and I'll show you how to get it, right? So you're going to type in Simple Posture in the Google Chrome store, and that's the app, right? And then you're going to come to the Simple Posture and you're going to download it. Now you'll see here that it says $9.99 a month, which if you know anything about automation and you understand anything about Poshmark Automation, you should be able to make $9.99 back with an auto share, auto follow tool, like within your first like couple days. If you have, listings, obviously. And if you don't, then you can drop ship them. $9.99 a month is a complete steal. The one that I used to recommend was $100 a month, and that was with like that was like the lowest payment. It was crazy. Also very, very worth it. But this one does everything that one does. It's not as good, but it's almost as good, and it's a tenth of the price. So you can get a free trial for this. You see, I'm not paying for it right now. I have a free 7-day trial, and you can keep cycling through. All you need is a different Google account, and then you sign up with a different Google account. Boom, you get another 7-day trial. It's super, super easy. But what you're basically going to do is let me go to, since I have men's clothes at my party, and you'll see here the Simple Posture app is installed. I've actually downloaded the free trial, and it gives you 7 days, and then obviously when the 7 days up, it's going to start to, it's not going to work, and it's going to start to tell you that you need to put your payment information in, right? But then you can just cycle through, sign out of your Google account, and sign into a new one, and boom, you have another 7 days. So let me demonstrate the power of this app, right? I'm going to go to a men's party. And like I said in the beginning of this actual video, you typically have to share all these manually, right? But instead, I'm going to use the Simple Posture to actually demonstrate all the different capabilities that this has. And the best one, in my opinion, is sharing from parties to get more eyes and more targeted eyes and more potential customers that want to buy your stuff to see your content and see your clothing and your listings, right? So just like any automation, if you're familiar with like Instagram automation or any other automation tools, you always want to make it look like you're a human being, right? And this does, which is a great part about it, all the automations that I've ever used, especially for Poshmark, have an auto captcha, which if you don't know what an auto captcha is, basically if the website flags you, Poshmark in this specific example, flags you for potentially being a bot, something ticked off their algorithm and it looks shady, then what's going to happen is this is going to automatically stop and it's going to come up with a captcha. And all you have to do is when you see it, you hit, yes, I'm a human being, and then boom, you're done. Then once if you get auto captured like that, I recommend just not doing anything for like 5 to 10 minutes, then you can go back to it. It's very, very easy to use, very, very simple and beginner friendly. So you see the settings I put in here. You don't want to go to like 1 second because then it's going to be like boom, 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 shared. That's going to look shady. So I would recommend staying on the conservative side because it's all about consistency and long term, right? If you're sharing all day long or, the majority of your day and you're not actually physically sharing, you're going to get a lot more shares than if you tried to just do it, manually, or you tried to, you kept getting auto captured. So I'd say stay on the conservative side. I'm going to go 4 seconds just to kind of show you how fast it shares. And I'll drop this down to like 13 seconds to show you how fast it shares and how well it works, right? But normally I might even go all the way up to like 21 and like 5. So that's going to basically tell the app and the Chrome extension that share an item from this party right here, and I'm going to show you how to set that up in a second, every 5 to 21 seconds, and it's going to share that randomly, right? And then you can set because then it might share it at like 7 seconds or like 18 seconds and then like 6 seconds and then like 21 seconds, right? So it's not going to look like you're a bot. It's going to be completely, masked, for lack of a better word, right? So I'm going to drop this down to like 4 and like 14 just to kind of show you for this specific thing. And usually I'll go to like 100, share like 100 items and then stop. I never do share indefinitely because if you leave it on share indefinitely, eventually you're going to get auto captured. What I like to do is I'll set it up to share 100 and then I'll go do something and I'll come back, see if it's done. Set it up to share like 80, go do something, come back, and it's done. And you don't have to do this all day long, but it's really, really, really going to help you out because in the past you might have shared like, 200 things if you're really, really, really on the ball, and that's a lot of time invested sharing. With this, you can do it like that, and it's all auto, and I share probably thousands of things every single, day now, just because it's on automation. So I'm going to go like 50 just for the sake of showing you. I'm also going to hit randomize sharing order, and then share to the party, right? Because or not share to the party, sorry, because we're not sharing to the party, we're sharing from the party. So share all items on page to party. That's not what you want to do. The only reason you're going to do this is if a party's currently happening. And for this specifically, all you're really going to have is you're going to set up your limit to how many you're going to share. You're going to set up your numbers here so it looks like you're a human being, and you're going to hit randomize sharing order, right? And then it's boom, just start. And you're going to see it's going to start sharing. And then you can go about your life and go about your business, and this is going to start sharing all the items here in this party randomly to your followers, right? And what that's going to do is obviously you might gain, you might know followers potentially with, all the things that you're sharing. But what it's really going to do, and the main reason you're going to do this, right, is because every item that you share here has a person behind it that's shared that item to the closet or to the party. And what you're doing is you're really getting their attention by giving them a notification, and then you're basically bringing them back to your potential closet to like, share, or potentially buy any of your clothing in the future. And this has been the most effective to this date, and I've been probably selling on Poshmark now for like 2 years. This is the most effective method that I know of to make sales.